Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is my review for this week of Big Brother. Once again, I'm doing this. I know you guys enjoyed me doing this, for the past 2 weeks, and once again, I'm doing this. So, this is going to be my review for episodes 27 to episodes 29, and this week was better than last week, but I still was not that into it. I really wasn't. I was not as into it. I did like Nicole being back in the house. What I didn't like was Nicole, what should have happened with her was I really wish, Nicole would have won HOH, and unfortunately she didn't, and, was kind of disappointed by that. Let's basically talk about what happened in Big Brother this week. So, Nicole has come back, everyone's really happy to see her, except for Derrick. Derrick is not happy to see her. A lot of people are not happy to see her. A lot, they're thinking, she's a physical competitor, they're kind of, scared of her and everything. And we see Cody ends up winning HOH, which, that was big, but it's also not a good thing, because, of course, who's in control? Derrick. Of course, Derrick is in control this week, which is never interesting, because, we know when Derrick's in control, it's never interesting. He just slows, the thing okay, I like Derrick as a person, but when he is telling people what to do, he slows down the game to the point where it's not even interesting. It wasn't interesting this week because I knew exactly what was going to happen. Of course, Cody ends up putting up Nicole and Donny. That's no shock at all. That's nothing new. I knew that was going to happen, and that's just no shock at all. There are some things to talk about, though. Donny at this point, Derrick at this point, he really does not, trust Donny. He doesn't trust him. And they keep wondering where the Team America mission's gonna be, because the Team America mission, they're not getting any missions, really, because now, first something, they're not giving you one because we don't give a shit about Team America, but basically, with Team America, they're trying to figure out what's gonna happen there, and Cody, ends up nominating Nicole and Donny, obviously, that was no shock at all, but he is planning on, if he gets, possibly backdooring Christine and Frankie. They want to get rid of Christine because, one, she's not really a good player. She hasn't really done anything. She won one HOH, which means nothing. It really just means nothing. So yeah, that was basically Sunday's episode. Not really much to talk there. There really wasn't much going on in Sunday's episode. There really wasn't. There was a lot more going on in last night's episode. Last night's episode, they are now continuing the theories about Donny. Seriously, I thought this was just... They had some of the weirdest theories ever. Caleb thought he was gang Ray. Like, what? He thought he was involved in a gang. Military intelligence. Just because he had an IQ of 150. And it's just ridiculous how, how they think that Donny is still ex-military. It's ridiculous. I find it ridiculous. And it's never just... I've always thought it was stupid. And Nicole said it was deja vu, and I agree. It's exactly deja vu. Definitely, it's all deja vu. And for Nicole, I honestly really felt bad for her, because she just got back in the house, and now she's being targeted again. Here's the thing. That was not a good strategy at all, because when someone gets back into the house, you should treat them like they just got into the house. Have them stick around for a little bit, sort of like how Alyssa treated Judd last year, how she tried to ally with Judd. Cody should have tried to ally with Nicole. I know that would not happen, but I would have wanted that to happen personally. I really would. Abandon Frankie and go with Nicole, because Cody does not really like Frankie. He really doesn't. He came clean and said he really does not like Frankie at all, and I really don't blame him. Frankie is an idiot. I don't like Frankie at all, so I don't blame Cody for not liking Frankie, definitely. So meanwhile, we then see Victoria, and she's wearing her sunglasses, and her face is all swollen. And honestly, I don't like Victoria as a player or as a person, but I felt bad for her here. Her wisdom teeth are coming in, and it's really making her mouth hurt, and it gets to the point where she starts sweating everywhere, and she literally passes out on the ground. Nicole finds her in the bathroom, and she's passed out on the ground, literally. That was just huge right there when that happened. And I mean, the worst time to get wisdom teeth in is in the Big Brother house, because it's just like, it's not the place to get that. You're already under so much stress, and, well, considering someone like Victoria, though, Victoria's not under any stress. This is just like a vacation for her. That's what Victoria's doing. She's taking a vacation, and she doesn't get to play in the POV competition. She doesn't get to, she wasn't chosen for the POV competition. And she goes to the diary room. There's a paramedic there and everything. The medics are there. They fix her up. And she comes back and she says she's doing better, but she needs to rest. So she needs some medication and everything. So that was definitely very interesting. So then we get the Team America mission finally. Because as I said, they were all awaiting a Team America mission. And basically, Donny thinks that the mission should be, keep all of them together, and to keep all of them as a team, and keep all of them, together. Basically, the mission was to come up with their own mission. And, honestly, that really shows how stupid this twist is, because they can't even come up with, logical missions anymore. They have to do it themselves. So Donny decides, and I thought this was a smart idea, basically to keep all 3 of the Team America members together. That way none of them target each other for the week, maybe next week, but not this week. Keep them all together as a group. The problem is that's not realistic, because Donny is not working with the detonators, so he's working with Nicole, and they're sort of the enemies of the house right now. So, I mean, that's really not going to work, and that's really a huge problem. I like Donny's idea, but it's obviously not going to work. Frankie thinks of the dumbest thing. Really, he thinks of the dumbest thing. Frankie says, oh, they just want us to put on a mission. Let's do a play. Let's do a play to amuse everyone. Okay, let me ask you something, Frankie. 5K here is what you're getting. 5K. You're telling me that the best way to get, to get America's votes, to make sure that this was a good mission, is to put on a fucking play? Are you kidding me? I mean, I know Frankie was involved in Broadway, and that's cool and everything. I have no issues with him wanting to put on a play. But for a Team America mission, no, that's not impressive at all. It does not affect the game in any way, shape, or form. It is not something that affects the game. It is not something that is interesting. It's just not something that affects the game at all. It's not interesting to me. Definitely, it's not interesting, and it doesn't affect the game at all. So, Frankie wanting to put on that play, I thought was the dumbest thing ever. I really did. They do end up putting on that play, though, and the play was actually really good. They didn't show the really good footage of the play. They only showed some of it. You can actually watch the full play online. I found a link to it if you guys want to watch it. I might put that down below. They were all really good. They put on a really good play. They were good actors and actresses. Definitely. Especially Nicole. She did like a scary impression of Brittany. Like, it was really good how good she was there. Donny did a great impression of Devin. I mean, basically the play, I like the idea of it. It was a fun idea. The play was called House Swap. What Frankie wanted all of them to do was imagine if the 8 house guests were the 8 evicted house guests, and they had to portray them. And I thought that was a fun idea, but it really does not work as a Team America mission. Again, sorry, that's not going to cut it, Frankie. Good idea, but that's really not going to cut it. It honestly is not. I did think the play was impressive, though. From a theater standpoint, from someone who's involved with theater, yes, they were good. It just seemed like a fun game, though, to me. It didn't seem like something they were taking seriously. Because literally no one was taking the play seriously. No one took it seriously at all, except for possibly Frankie, because he's involved with this shit, but no one really took it seriously, and because of that, it did not seem like a Team America mission at all. It really didn't. So, meanwhile, it's time for the POV competition and everything, and basically, oh, by the way, Cody named the 2 have-nots. We do have have-nots now, and the 2 have-nots are, Nicole and Donny. Obviously, they're the 2 have-nots because they're the people that they want out of the house. So, basically, the POV competition was one of those stay or fold competitions. Now, Christine tells Frankie they may be able to throw it to someone who's good with numbers, because, those are number competitions, and they're counting competitions. And, basically, Frankie's like, oh, I'm amazing at counting competitions. Frankie's the first one out, though. So, yeah, Frankie, obviously, yeah, you're so good at counting competitions. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You're at the first one out, it makes no sense at all. And, Nicole and Donny, surprisingly end up folding. I mean, I really felt bad for them. They just kept folding, definitely. And they handed it to Cody. And, basically, Cody gets to go watch Scorpion, and he ends up winning the POV, and, Cody gets to watch Scorpion, which I thought was cool, and he gets to choose two people, and I like that Cody chose Nicole and Donny, you know. He really felt bad for them, and Cody's a nice guy. It's just he's controlled by Derrick. Literally, there's something we're going to talk about that I'm going to show how he's controlled by Derrick. So, after this happens, Cody comes up with this idea to possibly backdoor Frankie. Now, he tells Derrick, and Derrick's like, oh, no, that's a terrible idea. Why would you go through with something like that? It's an awful idea, you know, Team America, you know, Derrick's in his head is thinking Team America and all this shit, and it's just like, Cody is the HOH, not Derrick, and this, you know, week, Derrick felt more like the HOH than Cody did. I have to be honest, really. Derrick felt more like the HOH than Cody. Really, he did. And, because of that, it was just, it was not, that interesting after that. Really, it wasn't. So, basically, Cody ends up not going through the plan. He keeps both Nicole and Donny up. Seriously, what a wimp. He was such a wimp. He just wimped out at that. He couldn't just make a bit, you know, he didn't just have the balls to put up someone like Frankie. That would have been awesome, especially after the whole house swap thing. It would have been really cool. So, of course, then, you know, there's the Team America thing where we get to choose if their mission was good or not. And I just voted hell no. It was not a good mission at all. It was not a mission. It was putting on a play, which was impressive, but not a mission. Definitely. Not going to cut it. So then let's get to tonight's episode. Tonight's episode, I like that Nicole and Christine are closer now. I do like this. I mean, Nicole and Christine, they've been apart for a while, and I like that they're starting to become friends again. I don't like Christine, but I'm glad that she is deciding to remain friends with Nicole. Even though she's not one of her allies, she is going to remain friends with her. She is going to keep her in the house. She's going to do the best she can to keep her in the house, and I like that because Christine was just very rude to Nicole. You know, she was sort of the one that got her out. She had no reason to go after her, really. She really didn't. And because of that, you know, she really had no reason to go after her. Even though she knew that Nicole said that she was, you know, possibly planning on backdooring her, that was because she knew that Christine was allied with the detonators. And I like that Christine has just put that all aside and started from the beginning. That's what most of them should have done, is to go with the clean slate, and Christine did that. I like that she did that. I don't like Christine as a player, but I like that she went in with a clean slate. I thought that was definitely a good thing to do. So then what happens is Nicole wants to try to get the numbers to get her to stay. She really wants to stay. And the target's pretty much Donny. You know, Nicole says Donny has played a very good game, and she realizes that Donny's the target, but she still is kind of worried because she is more of a threat than Donny, if you think about it. Donny, while he is a very good player, he's a beast at competitions. Nicole has won more HOHs than Donny. Nicole has a better strategy than Donny. Donny doesn't have much of a strategy. Donny's just a social butterfly. Nicole is much more of a, you know, strategic player, and she's kind of worried about that, so she really wants to get the votes to stay. Now, Caleb. Let's talk about Caleb. Seriously, Caleb? You seriously think you're running the show here? I thought that was hilarious. When Caleb said he's running the show here, I mean, that was hilarious, because it's obviously Derrick that's running the show, and none of them realize it. That's one of the things that Derrick's doing. He's playing a good game. He just slows the game down for people. Really, he does. And the fact that Caleb thinks he's running the show, I find it hysterical because that's not even close. Not even close. You are not running the show at all. You are not running the show at all. So, basically with Caleb, I mean, he literally was like to them, alright, who do you want out? 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 And Christine is like saying, you know, she wants Donny out, and and, you know, I didn't think you were allowed to do this. I didn't think we were allowed to find out who they actually are going to vote out. I mean, seriously, why are you telling people who you're going to vote out? Do it yourself. I hate this unanimous vote thing, I really do. Even though, in a situation like this, I'm happy it was unanimous vote for what ended up happening, I still am upset that they keep doing this unanimous vote thing. I've always been pissed off at this. They've been doing this for 2 seasons, and they can't make it, you know, not unanimous. It's really stupid. So Frankie then finds out about Team America, and here's the little thing they have to do. I thought this was really dumb. Basically, they have to answer this question. Julie's going to ask them if they have not, what special food they would request, and one of them has to say apple pie. So basically, if Julie says yes, that means America said yes, and we'll get the $5,000, and they'll get the $5,000. If they say no, then basically, you know, if they say no, then pretty much Team America's over, because if they get the $5,000, that's how much money they're supposed to get. So does that mean So if they say no, I'm assuming Team America's over. I really am, because how many missions have been denied? Think about it. They said no to one mission. They said no to a mission. They, didn't complete a mission correctly. They didn't go through with a mission. The mission did not work. They literally just decided not to do Team America at all. I mean, they have been boycotting so many missions lately. They should not be rewarded for this. Seriously. They were rewarded for a play. Seriously. It's just like, plays take weeks to get developed. So, I understand it was just an average amateur play, but it was just, at best, average. It really was. As I said, they were good actors. They were doing good acting, good portrayals of some of the house guests that left, even though some of them were really rude, like, Frankie's with Joey. That was kind of rude. I understand why he did that, but some of them were... I thought Derrick's with Joe Costa was extremely offensive. I'm gonna admit that. His with Joe Costa was really offensive. Literally, he made fun of when she... was dehydrated. He made fun of her with that. I thought some of them were not funny. Some of them were very funny, but a lot of them were actually, a few of them were not funny. And again, the play was just average at best. It really was. It was just average at best. So it was pretty much just average at best, and that's really all there is to say about that particular, that's really all there is to say about that mission. So, basically, after this, we see that, then, Julie talks to the house guests, and we see all these messages for them. I thought this was sweet to do. They've been away for their families for a while, so it was cute to see them, see their families. We see Caleb's brother, Victoria's mom, Cody's dad, Nicole's mom, Frankie's family, and of course, when we get to Frankie's family, they have to show Ariana Grande, who, honestly, I gotta say, Ariana Grande's become sort of a sellout, in my opinion. Listen to her new CD, you'll know what I mean. Her last CD, she took a lot of risks, and this CD is just the same old malarkey, pop malarkey, seriously, it's not as good. And, basically, Christine's husband says he loves her, Derrick's daughter and wife, and honestly, that was the one that I liked the most, was Derrick's daughter and wife, because he hasn't seen, his daughter wasn't even speaking before he left, and to see her speak was just such a big thing for him. And then, of course, it's time for the whole Team America thing, and Julie ends up asking Frankie what food, and I love what Julie said. She said, that's going to be an overwhelming no. I clapped at that, because honestly, they did, again, Team America, good try, but you did not deserve it, in my opinion. It really didn't, so, didn't deserve it, but whatever. That was definitely really good. I liked that she said, that's going to be an overwhelming no, because I agree, it's an overwhelming no. It's like, sorry, but not going to cut it. We then see Christine's husband, which freaked me out. I thought he was a girl, because he had these huge earrings. He looks exactly like Christine. It's extremely creepy, in my opinion. I agree with what he said about Christine and Cody, that they're not doing the right thing at all. I agree. I really do agree with that. Cody's family, I agree that then they said, that their family does that sort of thing, but I just don't like that Christine and Cody are doing this. I just don't condone it at all. I don't think it's the right thing to do at all, in my opinion. So, after this happens, it's then time for the live votes, and Donny ends up getting voted out. Even though they were trying to sway the votes to make it Nicole, Donny ended up getting voted out. Probably one of the most emotional evictions of the year. Donny was crying and everything. I felt bad for Donny. I really did. I mean, as much as I like Nicole, I was upset that Donny left. I was thinking Nicole was going to leave. I really did. They made me under the impression that Nicole was going to leave, but Nicole did not look ready to leave at all. She had this face. Once Donny left, she had this face like, oh shit, if I don't win this next competition, I'm going home. I'm going to jury. She had that look on her face. So, Donny's heading to jury, but there's also one other thing for Donny. Donny is so likable that, The Bold and the Beautiful actually, wants him to guest star in the soap opera. So, that's weird. What do they want Donny to do? Here's my question, though. How the fuck do we know he can act? How do we know he can act? Seriously. They should, I agree with what people said. Some people are saying they should cast him as an evil genius military doctor. That'd be really funny. The other house guests think that, and that would definitely be funny, especially if Donny could play, like, a parody of that. I don't know if Donny can really act, though. That's my thing. I don't know if Donny can act, so I honestly I don't know what to think about that. I think that's really stupid, and, I don't know. I feel Donny definitely he needs to get his job back. You know, I know he was no longer a what the fuck was he? I can't remember. I can't remember what Donnie said he was. A groundskeeper. He needs to get that job back, and then he can do Bold and the Beautiful. I mean, in the past, they haven't said on national television they're doing it. Rachel and Brendan have done it. I only know this because my mom watches the show, and she's told me. Rachel and Brendan did it. I believe Jeff did it, and, I believe the only other person to do it was Alyssa. Those are the only 4 people I think that ever was on Bold and the Beautiful besides Donnie. Donnie, I don't know. I don't see him as an actor. I really don't see Donnie as an actor. I don't. So then we had this really stupid HOH competition with this really stupid punishment. Basically, this was an endurance competition, so we didn't find out who won. And basically, you have to fill a cup with liquid, run to fill up the head of the snowman, and a piece of coal rises to the top. If you get that coal, you win HOH. And basically, you can choose instead. There is a smaller snowman, though, that will let you win $5,000. And here's the stupidest part of it. There's this thing that's like, holla for the rest of the summer. Literally, if that person won the temptation thing, the snowman would literally just shout, holla, holla, holla for the rest of the summer. I mean, seriously, that is the dumbest thing ever. If I was in that house, that would drive me crazy. I would probably get a headache. I would probably get an aneurysm because of that. And I would just be majorly pissed off. I mean, seriously, that's the dumbest thing ever. I like the other option. The other option was BBTs, where they get money, they get 5Gs, but they have to wear these t-shirts that says, like, worst house guest ever. I would have loved, and the moment she said that, I'm like, Frankie's got to get, if that's got to go to Frankie, because Frankie really is one of the worst house guests ever. He really is. And Christine, and Victoria, who doesn't even know where she is. Victoria's, like, just standing there. I think, Christine was trying to throw it because, honestly, we know Christine has thrown competitions before. We know she's terrible at throwing competitions. I really feel Christine was trying to throw this one because she was the not doing well at all. She was literally like to Nicole, what are you doing? What are you doing? And, that's basically how it ends. So, next week is double eviction, which really scares me because I don't want Nicole to go. I really don't. I really think Nicole is, at this point, Nicole is one of the only people that deserves it. Derrick, yes, he deserves it, but he really slows down the game for me. The only person I think that really deserves it is Nicole. I know a lot of people are saying Derrick is playing a good game. I think he is, but here's the thing. Derrick, in my opinion, is just slows down the game. He doesn't want to make big moves. He wants everything to be unanimous. He doesn't want to betray Team America, which is probably dead now because Donnie's gone. So, let me know what you guys saw this week. Overall, this week was a better week than last week. I was still not that into it, though. I like that Nicole is back. My question is, who's going to win HOH? I don't know yet who wins HOH. I'm going to look up right now, actually, who won HOH. Maybe they have it somewhere. Because I know there's a site that talks about, like, people that won HOH and who's in the lead. So, let's see. Who won HOH? Do we know yet? Okay, we don't know yet, so it's still in the early stages, so we'll probably just find out Sunday. I'll find out tomorrow, though. I'm not gonna tell you guys till next week. And, yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. Let me know what you guys saw this week of Big Brother. What do you guys think of, Donnie leaving? Do you think Donnie is an actor? I don't see him acting on Bold and Beautiful. I don't think it's the right job for him at all. Who's gonna win HOH? Are you scared the double eviction? Really scares me because the last double eviction we know Hayden left, so I definitely, if Nicole leaves, I'm telling you guys, I'm not kidding, Nicole leaves, I'm done. What'd you guys think of the BB, house swap play? What'd you guys think of that? Is Team America dead? I pretty much think it's dead because Donnie's gone. Plus, they didn't get the $5,000, so I'm assuming Team America's over. But that's it, my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in my next video, which will be for another movie review because there's no Nick tomorrow. There's no Girl Meets World tomorrow. So I'm probably going to watch a movie. I don't know what the movie's going to be, but I'm going to watch a movie because I have nothing to review tomorrow. So yeah, I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.